Hey, what's up everybody? It's Mike from Cornfield Customs, and it is bending day in the shop, and I've got a bunch of frame rails I need to bend. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna document each one in its own individual video. So first up is a custom set of Mustang rails for a client down in Florida. So I've got everything cut, cleaned, and laid out, and now it's time to fire up the bender and get these things bent and headed out the door. So stick around and check it out. All right, so we're gonna slide our material into the machine. Squeeze past here and get the mandrel inserted into the tube. Then we can slide that all the way in. So I'm going to go ahead and program our first bend angle with spring back, which is 43.3 degrees. Enter that. Then I will extend the mandrel forward, which is going to push the tube with it. And I'm going to take our alignment plate here and line our first bend mark up to our reference point on the die. I'll extend our clamp die over, which will clamp everything and pull the tube into place. Then I'll bring in our pressure die, which keeps pressure on the back side of the tube during the bend process. I'm going to double check spring angle is 43.3, bend angle is 43.3, and now we can make our first bend. The machine automatically kicks off at the preset bend angle. So from there, I can retract our mandrel, and the machine is pulling the mandrel back away from the tangent point of the bend. When that kicks off, I will go ahead and retract the pressure die out of the way. And when it hits home, I can retract the clamp die, which brings the clamp die out of the way. I can swing the carriage over out of the way, pull the tube out a little bit, and reverse our main bend die. When that gets back to home, I'll change our next bend angle. So bend angle 2 is 101 degrees. And I'll extend the mandrel. And from here, I have to rotate our tube. And I'll slide that back into place using our alignment piece. Get our bend line lined up to our reference point. Extend the clamp die over into place. Extend the pressure die over. And this will be a good one because it's 101 degrees, so we're going to get a lot of movement. So let's bend the main kick up. And this is being done in real time, not sped up, so you can see just how fast it bends to 101 degrees in 2x4 120 wall tube. So now I'm retracting the mandrel back out again. Then I'll retract our pressure die. And the pressure die follows through the bend, that's why it's extended out now, which is what's retracting. Then I'll retract our clamp die. Swing the carriage back to home. Pull the tube out just a little bit, and I will reverse the bending die back to 0. Once back to 0, I'll go to our bend 3. Change our bend angle to 58.7. And I will extend the mandrel, and I'll rotate our tube again. Slide the tube in to get our bend mark lined up with our reference point. Extend our clamp die over again. And extend over the pressure die. There's a lot of extending and retracting because you have to do each of that on every bend. All right, so everything's good. Double check, 58.7, 58.7, and we will bend. Retract the mandrel. Retract the pressure die. Retract our clamp die. Swing the carriage back to home. Pull our tube out a little bit. Reverse the main clamp die. So on the next bend, we don't have to rotate the tube because our bend program is going to do this to level out after the kick up, and then we're going to bend up over a front section. So there's no rotation, and our bend notes tell us that. So keep in mind, no rotating on this one. We're going to change the bend angle to 16.1, extend the mandrel, and pull the tube out. And then we will line up our bend line with our reference point. Extend the clamp die. Extend the pressure die. And we're ready to bend. We'll retract the mandrel, and while that's happening, I've got a cart set back behind to help support the end of the tube. So I'll put that into place. Retract the pressure die. Retract the clamp die. Swing the carriage back home. Pull the tube out. Re-zero the main bending die. Our bend angle is the same, 16.1. So we're going to extend the mandrel, pull the tube out just a touch. I'll come back to the end, which I think I'm out of the frame, and I'll rotate the tube. Get the tube pushed back in, lined up with our reference mark. Extend our clamp die. Extend our pressure die. And we're ready to bend. We'll retract the mandrel, and again I'll adjust our cart at the back of the tube to support the main rail hanging out. Retract the pressure die. Retract the clamp die. Pull the tube out a little bit. Get our main bend die back to home. And again on this one, our bend worksheet says we don't need to rotate. So we're going to extend our mandrel out. We're going to change our bend angle to 14.1, which is on our worksheet. Slide the tube out until it lines up with our reference mark. Extend the clamping die. Extend our pressure die. And bend. Then we'll retract the mandrel. I'm going to make sure our cart is still supporting the tube. Retract the pressure die. Retract the clamping die. Swing the carriage back to home. Pull the tube out. Re-zero our main bending die. Our bend angle is the same. We do need to rotate, so I'll pull the tube out from the back just a little bit. And we will flip it over. Extend the mandrel. Line up our bend line to our reference point. Extend our clamp die. Extend the pressure die. And we're ready to do the final bend and take some straight tubing and make it into a full-length frame rail. So here's our last bend. Then again, we'll retract the mandrel out. Retract our pressure die. Retract our clamp die. Move the carriage. Pull the tube out. Reverse our main bending die back home, and we can turn the pump off. So this was done completely in real time, so you could see just how fast it is to make a custom bent frame rail. So from here, I'm gonna take this tube out, get the other tube loaded up, and I'll speed up the process a little bit on the second rail, since you already saw how to do the first one. And then we will have a pair of mirror imaged full-length custom frame rails. So stick around. If you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe, comment, and like so I can keep this channel growing. So let me get that other tube in there and we will get it all bent up. All right, there you guys have it, a custom set of mandrel bent Mustang rails that were designed by the client, and they sent me over the file, and I imported into 3D through BendTech and got them bent exactly what they needed. So these turned out really nice. I'm excited to get the other set bent so we can get them sent over to the client and he can start building his chassis. So if there's any designs you guys need bent for your own projects at home, whether it be full frames, back halves, front halves, tube sections, K-members, anything that can be bent out of 2x4 or 2x3, rectangle tube, make sure to drop down in the comments and let me know if I can help you out and we can work together to get you what you need to take your projects to the next level. So with that being said, I already mentioned it earlier in this video, please subscribe, tell a friend, drop a comment, share, anything you can do to help me grow this channel, get the word out, because the more views and interaction I get, the better it's going to help this channel take off, and I can devote more time to doing more videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you've already subscribed, I greatly appreciate it and appreciate all the continued support you guys are offering. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to get back to bending. I've got a lot to do today, and we will catch you guys on the next one.